Welcome to Tech Tuesday on the Final Boss podcast, where innovation meets attitude, and the future gets decoded one byte at a time. I'm your host, Turbo the CEO, and your co-host, Mike Foth. And today we're diving deep into the tech trenches to uncover the tools, trends, and truths shaping tomorrow. Whether you're a code slinger, gadget geek, or just tech curious, this is your weekly power-up. So grab your controller, plug in, and let's level up.
Welcome to Tuesday night edition of the Final Boss podcast. I am the Final Boss, and my co-host every Tuesday he's the SME, which is subject matter expert of Tech Tuesday, the Sensei. Let's give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. Look, we have a great show for you tonight. Tonight's episode is episode number 153, and where we're going to be diving into identifying PSYOPS, good people. And this is going to be one of those shows where you will want to take notes. You will want to listen. You will want to grab everything you have and run. And run, people. Run. Right now, as you're watching this, someone somewhere is manipulating what you think. Not tomorrow, not last week, but right now. They've studied your fears, mapped your triggers, weaponized your emotions, and here's the kicker. Final bosses, you've been trained to defend yourself against physical threats your entire life. Lock your doors. Protect your property, guard your family. But who taught you to defend your mind? Who taught you how to defend your mind, right? In the next hour, the Sensei and I are going to pull back the curtain. We're going to expose the wizard and the most sophisticated warfare system ever created. Psychological operations, the invisible hand that's been shaping elections, collapsing economies, starting wars, and turning neighbors against neighbors. And you won't believe how simple their playbook actually is once you see it. See, the elite don't fear your guns. They don't fear your money. They fear the moment you decide to wake up and realize you've been playing a game you didn't even know existed. And tonight, we're changing that tonight. Tonight, you learn to see the invisible because you can't fight what you can't see. But once you see it, you can never unsee it. So, welcome to Tech Tuesday, episode number 153. This isn't just information, Final Bosses, motivators, warriors, to my smarts. This is your mental armor. It is go time, ladies and gentlemen, go time. And I am the Final Boss. He is the Sensei, and we are here. I am here, and we're coming to you live from the command center, right? We're coming to you from the command center. And we've got a lot of information that we're going to pass on to you guys. Welcome to the battlefield. Sensei, tell them how you're feeling.
Oh, Turbo, I'm honored to be here. When you called said PSYOPS, I knew we were going to go deep. I knew it was going to be a good one. No, this is the conversation that America, you need this now. And in some aspects, we're a little late to the game, but better late than never.
Better late than never. And you already know, before we dive in, Final Bosses, look, y'all make sure y'all go hit that follow button, like, share, subscribe right now, not later, right now. Drop your city and state in the chat, man. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know where you're you're watching from. And remember, we're building smarts, motivators, and warriors and final bosses all in one episode, each episode. And tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the systematic excellence and the refusal to be manipulated. So, before we go in, I have to give you the greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to each and every last one of you, no matter where you are across the world. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, or your listening pleasures on Spotify, and more to come, thank you as always. And let's get into the brass tacks of the evening. Tonight's brass tacks comes from Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. And here it is. All warfare is based on deception. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. And that's what we're going to be breaking down tonight. Final bosses, the art of winning wars without firing a single bullet, the manipulation of perception itself. So let's get right into it. Sensei, let's start from ground zero. When we say PSYOP, short for psychological operation, what are we really talking about? Can you break it down for us? Well, because a lot of people have probably never heard of this before. Talk to us.
Yeah, and it's truly a term that a lot of folks have never heard before. A PSYOP is essentially a military grade persuasion program. It's designed to influence the emotions, motives, and objective reasoning. It's pretty much it's information warfare. And the goal isn't to physically harm you, it's to make you think, feel, and act in ways that serve someone else's agenda. So think about it like this. Instead of sending troops in to take over a country, you send narratives. You create stories, symbols, and scenarios
Mm,
that make people want to do what you need them to do. It's cheaper, more effective, leaves no bodies, and just minds that have been reshaped. Just changing the minds.
wow. Sensei, that right there, my friend, is powerful. So we're talking about warfare that happens between our ears, not on the battlefield. Uh, Now here's what gets me, right? People think psyops are just government operations. Who's really using these techniques? Enlighten us.
So, anyone with resources and an agenda.
Mm,
So, typically, those who have both of those run psyops. Can be governments,
hmm.
absolutely governments. We know that. The
Yeah.
CIA.
Ooh,
It used to be illegal for the CIA to run psyops inside the United States,
hmm.
but that law was repealed. So now it's actually legal and allowed for the
Wow.
CIA to run ops inside the United States against American citizens. That used
Mm,
to be illegal, not illegal anymore. Department of War, Foreign Intelligence Services, absolutely. But also the ones you don't think about. Major corporations, they're manipulating consumer behavior,
right.
political campaigns, they're manufacturing consent.
Mm-hmm.
Consent, meaning we
Consent.
agree, do
Yeah.
this.
Incentive
Media
pressure.
organizations, they're shaping
Mhm.
public opinion.
Right.
Even social media influencers, whether they know it or not, they're running influence operations on their followers.
Mm-hmm.
They want people to think a certain way,
Mm.
stay engaged.
Wow. That's scary. That is scary, final bosses. Listen, this isn't just talking about Big Brother, people. This is your neighbor, your favorite brand, the person you follow online. The weapons of mass manipulation are everywhere. Keep watching. Stay with me. We're just getting started. Don't change that channel. We got more to come. All right, Sensei, let's break down the mechanics, right? Let's get into the mechanics of it. If someone's running a PSYOP, what are the components? What's the actual structure?
It's funny to say that because every PSYOP has the same five core elements.
Mm,
They all operate with the same framework, every one of them. None of them are different. Don't care who runs it, they all do the same thing. The first one is the objective. Which behavior are you trying to create? You want fear? You want compliance? Division? Purchase? Every operation has a goal. That's the objective. And you say division, what do you mean division? Remember,
Mm,
united we stand, divided we fall. If we're
correct.
divided in our thoughts,
Hmm.
you've achieved the objective. Number two is the target audience. Who are you manipulating? What are the demographics, psychographics, values, and fears? The more you know about your target, the more effective your operation. That's why it's so dangerous to answer surveys and to be online and clicking, 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 because all that does is create a profile about you, which makes it easier for you to be manipulated.
Mm,
And we've talked about that.
right.
Being in too much online time, you create a profile about yourself, and pretty soon the thought police are coming.
True.
The third one's the narrative, the story you're telling. It
Hmm.
has to be emotionally compelling, simple enough to spread, and difficult to disprove quickly. Now, the reason why that's so important is because if you dig into all these psyops, you can always find the cracks in the armor. But if you don't do it quickly, the news cycle is so fast, they
Right.
move on to the next thing.
True.
You just gloss over it and you never disprove it. You can tell a lie enough times, it becomes the truth in most people's
Absolutely.
minds.
Yep.
And
Mm,
the fourth part, and every psyop has the same thing, is a delivery mechanism. How are you getting the message out? Is it media, such as the big TVs and the news stations? Is it social media platforms? The next one is, believe it or not, is your trusted influencers. You trust an influencer, you're going to listen to what they say. And quote unquote, leaked documents. And last but not least, stage events. If you stage an event, it looks like it's real, it looks like it's organic, but it's a staged event.
right.
It's designed to achieve a certain goal.
Hmm.
And the last but not least is the feedback loop. If you're monitoring response, adjusting the narrative based on what's working, amplify the successful angles, and suppressing contradictions. Think about that.
Right.
If you suppress the contradictions, it makes you more effective.
See, that sounds scientific, right? Because it's not random, it's engineered. Now, final bosses, motivators, warriors, smarts, a real world example. A real world example. Since they walk us through a PSYOP using this framework that you just discussed.
There's a couple of them out there that are really, really, really easy to know.
Mm,
So we'll start with an earlier one and we'll snatch another one. So the first one here is listed as a classic. In 2003, the Iraqi war weapons of mass destruction narrative. The objective was to get the American public support for an invasion.
right.
What's the audience? The American voters,
Hmm.
particularly those who still remembered 9/11. If you're traumatized by 9/11, you're the target audience. What was the narrative? What did they say? They said Iraq has weapons of mass destruction, connection to terrorism, imminent threat to American soil. How did they deliver it? Presidential speeches, intelligence presented to UN. Remember those pictures at the UN?
Yep.
Media repetition over and over and
Over and
over
over
again.
again. Mhm.
Everybody said the same thing.
Right.
You change from one station to the next station, they said the same thing. Everybody repeated it.
Hmm.
And then embedded journalists
Mm,
only showing the approved footage. So when you watch the footage, it was always the same footage. It wasn't like if you had somebody on the street with their phone taking footage, it was all the same canned footage. So it looked the same. So it's a consistent delivery. So the feedback loop, the last part, when the evidence was weak, they introduced new angles, regime change, spreading democracy. And the key word democracy is the most vile form of self-government devised by man.
mm,
Terrible. Look, we're a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. Democracy is mob rule. 100 people, 51 says kill 49, you kill 49. That's democracy. So
mm.
if you think we're a democracy, then you're a special kind of riding a small bus. So the other one was supporting the troops. Okay. So you hear about these things. And what was the
Hmm.
result? The public support for a war based on weapons that didn't exist. That's a
Right.
billion-dollar psyop with historical consequences.
Mm.
What do we export with that one? We exported war.
Right.
And young men
And
went off to die while
yeah,
old men got rich.
true. Very true. And that's not conspiracy, people. That's documented history. The government admitted to it. They admitted that there were actually no WMDs. But by then, the mission was accomplished.
It's already done. Too late.
Already done. Too late. And final bosses, this is why we study this information. Because once you see the pattern, you see it everywhere. The pattern doesn't change. And Sensei,
Doesn't
let's
change.
bring us into fold. Let's say let's go to 2024. We have social media, we have AI, we have algorithms. The game has changed. How have psyops evolved in the digital age?
So right now, this is so easy. Digital platforms, that's the PSY operator's dream.
Mm,
It's their dream place. This is where they play the best.
right.
Okay. Here's
Hmm.
why. You can use what's called micro targeting. Now, remember, we talked about the more you're online, the more your profile's built.
Correct.
So that means that everything is known about you,
Hmm.
everything, your
Yep.
fears, your desires, your political leanings, what
True.
time you're most emotionally vulnerable,
Mm, good point.
right?
Yep.
They can serve you a completely different narrative other than your neighbor. Your neighbor
Uh-huh.
and you can get a completely different feed because you're different people and they want
Absolutely.
to micro target you. Then comes the algorithm,
Hmm.
the amplification of it. Controversial content gets boosted. Why? It drives engagement. What's engagement? Likes and clicks. The algorithm doesn't care about truth.
Yeah.
It only cares about attention. And
Likes and clicks equals dollars and cents.
we've talked about if you
Hmm.
watch the Netflix documentary, the social dilemma,
Yeah.
it explains about that. Okay.
Hmm.
Then, because we have so many computers and we now do automated AI agents, we now have bot armies. A
Right.
bot is a artificial personal presence.
Hmm.
It's not a real person. It's just a digital presence.
Correct.
You think you're seeing organic consensus. You think you're seeing that everybody is mad about this, but
Hmm.
it's 10,000 automated accounts making one viewpoint seem popular. So when you get a popular viewpoint, what does most people do? They follow the popular viewpoint.
True.
Now because in 2025 and in 2026, which is just around the corner, you got to be real careful of deep fakes. See, literally, you can see things that never happened.
Right.
Video, audio, images, it's all
Hmm.
fabricated,
Right.
but it's indistinguishable from reality. Now, it used to be that when you had a deep fake, you could spot the inconsistencies of it. You could
Hmm.
see that, oh, that looks a little off. That sounds a little off. The problem is the technology is getting so advanced that you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Give it another year.
Yeah.
You will not spot the difference between a real and a fake. It's not going to happen.
True. Yep. Our eyes are adjusting. Absolutely.
Well, look at the Yeti vlogs.
Oh yeah.
All right, those viral Yeti vlogs, they look
Hmm.
more real than regular video.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, we're we're living in the matrix essentially. What you see online might not even be real humans with real opinions. How does the average person stand a chance?
That's the point. They're counting on you to feel overwhelmed. But here's the counter. Here's how you adjust. Pause.
Hmm.
The PSYOP demands an immediate emotional reaction. Okay? When it hits you, they want an immediate reaction, so it triggers strong emotion, strong anger, fear, outrage. The moment you feel that in anything you see, that's your warning light. That's the one that says, wait a minute, what, why do I feel that? That's the first flag that should hit you. Who
Right.
benefits if I believe it? What
Hmm.
action are they trying to trigger? Is this designed to divide me from the people I normally agree with? Is it trying to polarize me into an opinion to drive a certain action? Is that what's happening? I mean, the modern PSYOP works at the speed of social media,
Right.
but your defense works at the speed of critical thinking.
Mm.
And that's the hard part, is to think.
So to slow down to speed up,
Hmm?
that's systematic excellence. And right there, final bosses, your emotions are the vulnerability. Your discipline is the defense. Write that down. Right? Write that down. Those are gems right there. And look, it's time to get tactical, Sensei. It's time to get tactical. What are the specific psychological triggers that psyops exploit? What buttons are they actually pushing?
There's 7 primary big buttons, big ones, easy to spot too. Once you hear them, you're like, oh, that's easy.
Okay.
So once you know about something, you can find it, but you have to know about it. So here we are tonight. We're going to tell you, here's how you find the things to look for, triggers. Okay. The buttons that get pushed. The first button is fear. That's the most powerful button ever. Look,
Mm-hmm.
your survival instinct is going to override any of your logic. Your you have to survive. They're coming for your kids. They're coming for your jobs. They're coming for your freedom. Okay. The next one, this is a biggie, tribalism. Us versus them.
Right.
Making you identify with a group and see
Mm-hmm.
everyone outside as the enemy.
Correct.
And that, I see that happening more and more and more. And if you identify with the quote unquote wrong tribe, you get ostracized quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You get cut out. And the next part, moral outrage. If making you feel like you must act because something is morally intolerable, it's you can't deal with this. It's too much. It
Right.
bypasses your rational.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Usually, what's the first thing that they push on the moral outrage? They always push children. That's if you know if they start pushing something about children, that's morally going to outrage you. So it's going to polarize you one direction or the other. So the next one is called social proof. Everybody believes it, so it must be true. This is
Mm-hmm.
called a manufactured consensus.
Right.
You can have one person who believes it, but it looks like 1,000 do. So you just go along that everybody believes this is the truth, so we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one that comes along, scarcity.
Okay.
Act now or lose out. Buy now. I mean, when you see the ads and the sales and all this, buy now, limited inventory, etc. This creates urgency that prevents reflection. You need to reflect. You need to stop, slow down, think. Okay. Don't run to the grocery store and buy toilet paper.
Right.
I mean, like, let's be real. And what
Yeah.
happens when that you do? That was an experiment, right? Tell
Right.
everybody we're going to have no more toilet paper, and everybody runs to the store and they all fight over toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
In reality, you don't even need toilet paper. You get a shower. So that was a manufactured scarcity, but
Mm-hmm.
we actually created a real scarcity. Now the next one is authority. Trusted figures. We've seen this one happen.
Yeah.
Doctors,
Mm-hmm.
celebrities, right? Officials,
Right. Yep.
they deliver the message.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have all these sports uh, athletes talking about social things? Why are they out there talking about this? Why is an athlete telling you how to think?
Using their influence.
They're using your influence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just is.
Yep.
How about this one? I'm going to call this the Nancy Pelosi effect. This is repetition. Say something enough times, it becomes
Hmm.
true because the brain registers familiarity as credibility. If you tell a lie enough times, people will begin to think it's the truth, especially if you can't quickly disprove the lie. Or you get canceled or shadow banned or shut down when you try to disprove the lie. Or you get labeled as a conspiracy theorist
Right.
or a racist, homophobe, xenophobe, thisophobe, thatophobe, a phobophobe who's afraid of a phobophobe or phobophobe, whatever you are.
Wait,
You
hold
know,
on, Mike. Hold on. I got red flag. All of them.
or
All
you
of
get called an ist. You're this kind of ist or that kind of
them.
ist. You're a
Right.
misogynist. You're a racist. You're a this ist. You're a that ist.
All the
All just
is.
yeah, just throw them out there. And what we call it, we call that fuzzy logic. We teach computers, we call it fuzzy logic. What that means, you throw crap at the wall and see what sticks. And that's all that is.
Oh man. God damn it, man.
It's
Damn.
just fuzzy logic.
Yeah. So they're literally hacking human psychology. These aren't random people. These are designed exploitation points. Listen, final bosses. Listen, we're going to give you some real time examples of what that looks like in the wild, in the real world. Go ahead, Sensei. Let us know what that looks like.
All right. So we know this to be fun. We have fun with this. We laugh about it all the time. Remember back in the day, bacon and eggs are the best breakfast you could ever have?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
bacon and eggs aren't good for you anymore. Now bacon and eggs are good for you again. And
Right.
what about the one where butter was great and then it's no good? You got to use margarine, which is one molecule off of plastic. And now
Right.
you're back to butter. So it's a new study, right? It's a new
Mm-hmm.
study. It shows whatever you do, it doesn't matter what it is. You wake up today, that causes cancer. You disagree with the political beliefs, and that causes cancer. You know,
Yeah.
how dare you think that creates cancer? It's called fear,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So the real Americans believe versus these people think. That's the next one. It's called
Oh,
tribalism.
that right there was profound. Mm. Hey man, say that. Give us that again, please, sir.
Real
One more time.
Americans believe whatever it is they want you to believe
Mm.
versus these people think. That's isolationism. That's tribalism. You belong to my tribe. That's good.
Yeah.
What about that one? If you constantly barrage with share this and share that, right?
Right.
All right. If you don't share it, you support that terrible thing. If you
Mm.
don't go to the protest, that's moral outrage. Look, 10 million people have already done whatever. They've already picked their nose with their left hand. So that's social proof. You should pick your
Mm.
nose with your left hand. The other one, limited time offers, that gets you to purchase, right? Limited time
Right.
offer.
Yeah.
Buy one, get two free.
Yeah.
There is that little, it's not Bed Bath and Beyond, it's the other one. It's the little place when you go in and you can buy the perfumes and stuff. And they always have it that if you buy two, you get a discount, but then they throw the algorithm off that you're never getting a full clean discount. You always got to buy the next one to get the next discount. And so what they
Maybe
do
Bath and
is,
Body Works. That's what that sounds like.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta spend $100 before you walk out of there.
Right.
And it just keeps throwing stuff at you because if you just buy one more, you can get another one.
Yeah.
And just one more, just one more, just one more. That's the scarcity, right?
Yeah.
A celebrity in a white coat. They're not even a doctor. False authority.
That's diabolical. Right.
It is. And heck, you don't even want to believe doctors nowadays anyway, because half of them are owned by the pharmaceutical companies. So
True.
just saying.
Mm.
You see the same story in every channel. You can't get away from it. And I've told you, if I see a news story that's across all channels and I believe the opposite of that news story immediately out of hand, I am more correct and more often than not. So watch your big news stories that go everywhere. blanket news stories. And if it's on every channel within hours,
Yeah.
now we're talking quick. It's just too quick. It's like, oh, wait, why is that happening so fast? Red flag.
Mhm.
Once you see the patterns and you identify, you can't unsee it. You go, oh, I know that. I know that. And you go like this. Ah, I got you. I
Got
got
you.
you.
I see
I
what you
got
did.
you. You're trying to pull a fast one.
Right. Those are facts, people. Those are facts. Final bosses, motivators, warriors, smarts. I want you to understand, right? This isn't about being paranoid. This is about being prepared. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. You stay right there. I'm talking to you. Don't go nowhere. You're not crazy for questioning things. It's called critical thinking. You're actually equipped to be a critical thinker. And that's the difference, right? That's the difference. Now, let's pivot and let's shift gears. Sensei, we've been talking about the gov, we've been talking about politics, we've been talking about the corporations and how they all run PSYOPs as well. Marketing, advertising, brand loyalty. This is all psychological manipulation as well. Can you talk to us about corporate PSYOPs?
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you one that's really phenomenal for corporate
Yeah.
psyops.
Mhm.
Super fast. Okay. All I got to say it. Everybody will know what I'm talking about. The moment I talk about it, you're all going to know. I'll say 2 words. Bud Light. That was a psyop.
That was definitely a PSYOP.
Hands down.
Oh boy.
That
this
was a
this episode is
psyop.
full of red flags tonight. Wow. That was definitely a PSYOP. Oh.
Look, it's the most accepted form of manipulation in society is from corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They call it advertising. Nobody blinks. Make no mistake. These are military grade psychological operations applied to customer behavior.
Yeah.
A guy named Edward Bernays literally wrote the book on this in the 1920s. In the
Mm.
20s,
Wow.
he took Freudian psychology. We know who Freud
Mm-hmm.
is, the one that
Yep.
says that we all have this complex,
Right.
and he weaponized it for corporations.
Mm-hmm.
He made women smoke cigarettes by associating them with freedom. Manipulated public opinion for banana companies to support coups in Central America.
Mm.
I mean, you think, how does that affect anything? EAE, everything affects everything.
Everything. Yep. Now, I remember we talked about the banana companies and the PSYOPs in a previous episode. Let's as a refresher for those who may not have seen that, break that down for us, please.
So what happened is United Fruit Company needed to protect their profits in Guatemala. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they like to make their money, and Bernays he ran a propaganda campaign convincing Americans that Guatemala's government was communist and threatening. So what was the result? The CIA backed a coup, all to protect banana profits. And let's not say the dirty 3-letter word that we fought countless wars over. It's really easy, OIL. So, that one all by
Yeah.
its lonesome is enough
Whew.
to, you know,
Yeah.
if that don't tell you what's going on. I don't know what does.
Right.
Look, today's corporations do the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
just more sophisticated. Apple, how many folks use Apple devices? Why? Because it makes you think you're creative. You're not creative, you're a sheep. Just get in line and go, like the rest of them. And you can say, oh, no, 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 no. That is truly the case.
Yeah.
Look, Nike makes you think you're an athlete. Look, you're fat and old, out of shape, but you're an athlete because you're wearing that Nike swoosh. Look back in the 60s and 70s on TVs, commercials, news articles. You didn't see fat people.
That's true.
You didn't. What
That's a great
changed?
point.
What
Mm.
changed? Mm. You get told to eat Cheetos. That's what changed. He's eating Cheetos and watching
Wow.
Netflix on the couch. Tesla makes you think you're saving the planet. You tell me that an electric car saves anything? The amount of pollution and carbon footprint that those things create, you can never recoup it, ever. And then God
Ever.
saves your soul if you ever have to replace the batteries in those things.
Right.
I mean, it's identity manipulation through product association. I drive a
Mm-hmm.
Tesla, therefore I'm good. I'm morally on the high ground.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's just so we're so easily manipulated. It's just frightening. We're
Yeah.
just you know what? I'm gonna say it real easy. We're just stupid.
Yeah.
And I think it's not that we are more stupid than we used to be because we're getting dumbed down by this AI. Intelligence is
Mm-hmm.
making us dumber because we don't know how to think for ourselves. But what you end up seeing happening is that we are so distracted and so hung up in trying to just survive that we don't even take the time to think anymore.
True.
We
True.
just don't.
And listen, smarts, final bosses, warriors, motivators, we're all thought leaders here, right? Thought leaders, part of the Final Boss Nation, Final Boss community. And we're on this journey together, right? So we're not buying products. We're buying identities. We're buying feelings. We're buying tribal memberships. But listen, what about social media companies? Because they're not just selling products, they're selling us to us, right? Elaborate on that.
Okay, so if you're not paying for something,
Mm-hmm.
you're the product.
Correct.
And even nowadays, even if you are paying, you're still the product.
Facts.
Look, Facebook. Are you
Yeah.
paying for a Facebook subscription?
Nope.
No. Instagram?
Nope.
TikTok?
Nope.
Twitter?
Nope.
Huh.
Hmm.
So you don't pay for those. Their business model is attention harvesting. They run continuous PSYOPs to keep you engaged. And then what they use are infinite scroll. We call it the death scroll, right?
Yep.
You're doom scrolling. You just
Mm-hmm.
don't stop scrolling for hours. You wake up in the middle of the night, you grab your phone, it's 1 in the morning. By the time you blink, it's 4 in the morning. You spent 3 hours that you can't even track.
True.
It exploits your dopamine loops.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have dopamine burnout, and then you have to get on meds because you now have no more dopamine that's functioning in your system. Then
Wow.
you're depressed, then you have meds for your depression, and you're constantly, again, in this vicious cycle, right? So
Mm-hmm.
notifications, the dings. How many times when you're in a public area, check it out sometime, when your phone goes ding, how many people looked at their phone?
Oh, right. Everyone.
Everybody's looking at their phone. It
Everyone.
creates
Yeah.
anxiety, it creates compulsion,
Mm-hmm.
like counts. Okay. The algorithm, manufacturers of social validation, algorithmic feeds. Okay. The algorithm shows you content that triggers emotion, not truth. And
Right.
then the worst one of it is the echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
This reinforces your beliefs, which then again does what? Makes you more tribal.
Right.
All of this ties together and it's a vicious circle. It's like, you're eating your tail. So you keep chasing your tail because you're eating your tail
Mm-hmm.
and you never stop. You always say that you're headed down the spiral staircase to hell. Well, that's where you're headed because once you start, you don't tend to stop and turn around.
Yeah. It's too late.
You head to the bottom.
Yep.
Look, they've hired neuroscientists. We're talking people
Mm-hmm.
that track the chemical activity of your brain, behavioral psychologists,
Mm-hmm.
addiction specialists, not to help you, but
Right.
to manipulate you even more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So they got the hooks in you from every angle.
Every angle.
And super scientific too. We're not
Yeah.
even talking about that it's a mistake. This is
Mm.
really scientific.
The science.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. That's criminal. That is criminal. And final bosses, this is why the fired up train is about systematic excellence. You can't just consume passively anymore. You have to be intentional. Every app you open, every ad you see, that's a psychological operation designed to extract something from you. Awareness is your armor. Now, Sensei, one pattern I keep seeing over and over again in my short years on this beautiful planet is division. Whether it's politics, race, gender, class, there's always a psyop trying to divide the people. Why? What's the strategic value of keeping people divided?
It's simple. It's a core strategy. Okay.
Okay.
United we stand,
Mhm.
divided we fall.
Right.
Divided populations can't organize,
Mm-hmm.
they can't resist,
Correct.
they can't see the real power structure. It's the oldest play in the book. I've said it many times, and I get asked, "What are you? Are you a Democrat or Republican?" I'm neither, because it's the same coin.
Yeah.
60% of the population believes I want less government, enough to do what we got to do, but not too much. But the other two parties both believe in more government. They only differ in how to get there. So the problem is 60% of the population is not even accurately represented anymore, and all they keep doing is voting for the lesser evil.
Right.
That's manipulation.
True.
They think it's left or right. It's
Mm-hmm.
not left or right. They're both left.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the reality of the two-party system, they are both left of center.
Mm. Ooh. Ooh. That's ooh. Both left of center. Wow.
And both parties serve the same donors. They got the same donor base.
Yeah.
These donors will contribute to both parties to get whoever they want in. The
Mm-hmm.
approved people get elected, not people that are true outsiders. There is no outsider that ever gets elected, period. Left versus right, that's an illusion. The other one, and this is one that really upsets me and makes me not happy in a lot of ways because I feel this is one of the worst ones. It's the most
Grind my
egregious one.
gears. Mm-hmm.
It's the black versus white. That makes me so angry because it is such. Look, we're all here in this country. Let's be honest about this, okay? We're Americans, okay? We need to think like Americans. And I'm not using the PSYOP to say that it's Americans versus the world. I'm saying we have a great thing going here where you have the
Mm-hmm.
ability of transcending class. You can start low class and work your way up to upper middle class. I'm not saying you reach high class, but you can move classes. That doesn't happen in the rest of the world.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we have as opportunities here that the rest of the world doesn't have. But we
Mm-hmm.
get told all the time we have systemic racism. Do you even know what that term means, for God's sake? It means that there are laws in place which do what? Keep racism alive and well. We
Right.
have laws in place which do the opposite of that. So to say we're systemically racist is so uninformed because we have laws which prevent that kind of discrimination. And it's ridiculous. It's so black versus white is it's tired. It's tired. I hate that one. Men versus women. Oh my God. Look, we're
Mm.
both struggling. We're all struggling. Okay? We're all economically exploited. So why do we have to be against each other? We're all in the same boat. Are you trying to pay your bills? Yeah. Am I trying to pay my bills? Yeah. So why do we have to fight against each other for things that are manufactured and ridiculous when in reality, let's just find a better way to live our lives and actually enjoy the life we have instead of being a rat in the wheel, screaming at the other rats on the wheel next to you.
Right.
How does that get you any further ahead?
Mm.
How about this one? Vaccinated versus unvaccinated.
Oh boy.
It's a broken healthcare system, okay? That was a great psyop in its own right.
Yeah.
Well, the funny one,
Yeah.
I'll give you a funny one. Do you remember back in 2017, there was a massive data breach that 147 million records with all of your records were exposed? Remember
Mm-hmm.
that one?
I remember that.
Yeah, you heard a blip about that long. Now, it should have been something that would have been got a lot of attention for a long time, and we should have made some changes and fixed some things right away. But it was
Yep.
only on the news cycle for about, 48 hours?
Yeah,
Because what took over?
that's about right.
Everybody was hung up about people kneeling on a football field. That was just the stupidest damn thing. And all it did was create an emotional response. Perfect
Hmm.
psyop. It accomplished the goal. It took away the attention from the problem that we had 147 million records of all your personal information compromised.
Right.
So if your information is not compromised right now, then guess what? You're naive because already has been compromised years
Already.
ago,
Yep.
years ago. But yet you're so busy worrying about who's standing up during the national anthem and who's kneeling and who's got their hat on, who doesn't. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's all just stupid. It's designed to manipulate you. It's
Hmm.
manufactured, right? You're creating identities that um, that exemplifies and expands upon fault lines in society, right? You identify over here and it takes advantage of that little crack in society. So real tensions, real grievances, those get pushed off. The
Right.
things you should be upset about, you don't know about because it doesn't even last in the news cycle long enough for you to even hear about it.
Hmm.
You can't even see your common interests anymore because there's so much garbage out there. It's so much white noise, so much noise, you can't even hear yourself talk.
True.
If you try and have a conversation with somebody about something intelligent, what comes up? What comes up? Having a conversation with somebody who's not informed about PSYOPs, and what
Hmm.
comes up? All of the current triggering
Yeah.
PSYOPs
Yep.
events
Yep.
all come to the surface. That's what
True.
people talk about. They talk
Hmm.
about the newest thing. They
Yep.
talk about stupid things like, okay, we got ICE agents that are running around, so people are upset about that. Why are you upset about that? Every other president before did the same thing,
Yeah.
but you're told, look at here, shiny object, be mad about this.
Hmm.
And it's just ridiculous. What's the point?
Right. Now,
It,
look, the anger is real.
mm-hmm.
The issues are real, but the conflict's being amplified intentionally. But why? Who benefits when we're all fighting each other?
Well, if we don't fight each other, we fight them. So
Mm.
anybody
Hmm.
in power,
Right.
people that are in power want to keep power. People that are in power want more power. So how do you keep more power? Don't have anybody fighting against you. Shut them up. Silence them. Corporations, distracted customers. They don't. Consumers don't organize for labor rights. They don't care. They're
Hmm.
distracted. The politicians, they benefit. The tribal voters vote identity instead of policy. Oh my God, this identity politics and identity voting is just stupid. Instead of voting the issues and find out what really people talk about, you hear a couple of talking points and you say, well, that person's bad or that person's bad. Oh, I have no choice. I have to vote for the lesser evil.
Mm.
When everybody says that, what happens? Nothing gets done.
Right.
The media benefits. The conflict drives clicks and ratings. It's not the truth, it's the shock value.
Hmm.
We saw on live frickin' TV someone shot and killed, and it drove the media nuts, and they didn't care. They were all about the clicks,
Yep.
and it was all designed to drive the clicks and the ratings. I mean, it's disgusting that kind of stuff happens, it's worse than the Roman Colosseum for God's sake.
Mm.
People screaming and clamoring for blood, ridiculous. Foreign adversaries, they benefit. Destabilize America. If you destabilize America, it's a weak America. Look, here's the key insight. The elite aren't divided like we are. The elite are all on the same team.
Hmm.
They pay for both sides. The rich donors donate to both parties because it keeps the parties in power.
Right.
And it's funny when you see an election cycle come up and this party now has power. But when they do, nothing gets done because the other party can stall.
Hmm.
And then, if that doesn't work, let's do the other narrative where split the power. Well, you got here control, but no control there and there. Or you got control here, but that one. And all they do is it's a shuffle, it's a game. All they're
Yeah.
doing is this. It's try and find the little P. They're playing the P game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they move the little deals around and look for the cup. Okay, which cup is it under today? That's exactly what's happening to us. That's exactly what our politics is in this country.
Right.
Hands down. The shell game. You got three things happening. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the legislative, you got the executive and legislative. Okay, those are the two that they play with. They don't necessarily play with the judicial as much. In that one, they play with executive, Senate, and Congress. Okay, and they play the game. And we're over here being, we have control now. No, you don't. Man,
Mm-hmm.
you get the illusion of control. It's stupid. Look, the elites, they go to the same schools, sit on the same boards. Hello, sit on the same board of
Right.
directors, okay?
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
have elite people who belong to 100 boards. They're
Mm-hmm.
involved in all of them. And here's how it gets really crazy. They all belong to each other's boards. So if
Right.
I'm a majority owner of this company and you're over here as a majority owner there, we both sit on each other's boards. And then that game gets shuffled around and mixed up so much that the same people who own the same thing sit on all the boards. They do business together. They go vacation together.
Yeah.
They're not fighting. We fight about culture war and issues. They're passing policies. They benefit themselves regardless of party. It doesn't matter. We're
Mm-hmm.
just, again, that word that I'm not allowed to use because we get flagged for it. They are the royalty, and we are the ones that aren't.
Yeah.
All right, the division keeps us from noticing class
Mm-hmm.
warfare. And I am telling you, we don't have a race problem in this country. We have a class problem in this country.
Mm.
If you're poor, it doesn't care if you're white, black, or brown. It doesn't care. You're poor. If you're middle class, you're so under attack, whether you're white, brown, black, Asian. I don't care what you are. Your livelihood is under attack. Tech jobs are going away. That's the middle class. Tech jobs are disappearing. The middle class is under attack right now. That's class warfare. But
Yeah.
yet no one talks about class warfare ever. They
Well,
only talk about cultural warfare and the stupidity that we get told that we need to believe against.
that's going to be a whole subject in itself that we could talk about an entire night. But listen, that's deep because the real psyop might be making us focus on differences while they rob us blind. Listen, final bosses, this isn't left or right. This is up versus down, right? And they need us fighting horizontally so we don't look up. Once you see this framework, you can't unsee it. Now, Sensei, we've diagnosed the disease. Now, let's talk about the cure. How does someone build their personal PSYOP detection system? Give us some practical framework about that.
I love that. We're going to do some good stuff here. 5-step detection protocol. Okay, this is it. This is steep, super easy. Step number 1, emotional audit. When you're consuming information, ask yourself, how does it make me feel? Is it a strong emotion? Which one is it? Anger, fear, disgust, euphoria. This is the first red flag. Do I feel a lot of emotion? If I do, red flag immediately. Why? Because
Mhm,
you already
mhm.
know emotion bypasses critical thinking. So the
Correct.
moment you feel emotion, high emotion, flag, flag, flag. The
Mhm.
hard part is your critical thinking is already being bypassed. So you throw the flag up, and what happens to your emotion? Goes right over it. So that's a hard one. That's where
Okay.
that pause, stop, wait, look, listen. Look both ways before you cross the street and then look again. Okay? That's what you have
Yep.
to do. You have to slow down, emotional audit, source analysis. Who is telling you this? What's the agenda? Who funds them? Follow the money. We've talked about follow the money forever.
Right.
Follow the money.
All
The
of the
money
money.
doesn't lie. Money doesn't
Mhm.
lie.
Yep.
Step 3, cui bono, I think it's called, Latin for who benefits.
Mhm.
If you believe the information, act on it. Who gains the power? Who gains the money? Who gains the influence?
Right.
Who benefits? That's your step
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Step 4, contradiction. Do a contradiction check. Does it contradict itself? Is the information require that you ignore facts you already know? I know this is true, but
Mhm.
I hear this emotional thing, so I'm just going to ignore that. I'm just ignore it. It doesn't exist.
Right.
And step 5 is your perspective diversity. Have you sought out the strongest version of the opposing viewpoint? Again, I told you, big news story. I believe the little tiny one over here. That's the opposing viewpoint. I'm more accurate by believing the little story than the big story.
Right.
Okay? If you can't articulate the other side's position fairly, you don't understand the situation well enough. If
Mm.
you get asked a question about why do you hold that position and you can't explain it, what's that tell you? It's a psyop.
Yeah.
If
Definitely.
somebody opposes your thoughts
Hmm.
and you can't say, why do you support this person? Why do you support this position? And you can't lay out, I support it because of ding, 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 ding. If you can't support the position, you're a victim of a psyop.
Right. That's it. That's powerful. And listen. Basically, what you need to start doing, you need to slow down. One, you need to question your emotions. You need to trace the source. You need to identify who benefits. Check for contradictions and understand all sides, right? Sensei, what about when the information is actually true, but it's still being used as a psyop?
All right. If somebody tells you 99 truths and one lie, what are they?
They're still a liar.
Okay. That's all that means. It's they're more advanced. That's
Yeah.
all that means. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The most effective psyops is true information, selective truth. They're not lying. They're creating truth to create a specific impression.
Hmm.
What's your defense? Always ask, what am I not being told? What
Right.
context is missing? What facts would change my perspective if I knew them?
Hmm.
Because raw emotion and super shallow. Remember this, a psyop is shallow. Okay? It doesn't go deep. The
Right.
moment you dive deep, you uncover that there's nothing underneath here. There's no roots.
Hmm. No foundation.
None.
So truth without context is manipulation.
Yes.
Facts without framework are weapons. Listen, final bosses, this is graduate level education right here. Your defense isn't just fact checking, it's context checking. And sensei, we got to talk about algorithms. We got to talk about algorithms, my man, because it's not even human operators running psyops anymore. It's AI and algorithms. How does that change the game?
Oh, it's the scariest evolution. It's frightening.
Mm,
Algorithms
yes.
don't have agendas in human sense. They have
Hmm.
objectives. They maximize engagement, maximize time on platform. They have goals, and they do whatever it takes to get to that goal, no matter what.
True. Yep.
Maximize ad revenue. It doesn't matter. The problem is the content that maximize engagement isn't truth.
Hmm.
It's outrage. It's tribalism. It's
Absolutely.
fear. It's conflict. The algorithm, without
Mhm.
any human conspiracy at all, naturally amplifies the most psychologically manipulative content. It is designed by the algorithm to do that, just to achieve its goal above all else.
Wow. Automated manipulation. The algorithm learns what triggers you. And listen, people, it then serves you more of it, right? What does that look like in practice?
No, it's easy. You watch one politically charged video, one video,
Hmm.
the algorithm goes, oh, you watched the whole thing? Oh shit,
Right.
I'm giving you 10 more. You
Hmm.
click on
Hmm.
one conspiracy theory,
Right.
suddenly your feed is full of them. Hell, I was looking at office chairs and just did a little casual glance to see what would I potentially be looking for in a new office chair. Suddenly, Everything I have is now full of ads for office chairs across all the platforms.
Right.
You engage without content about a fear, the algorithm decides that you love the fear content and gives you more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely does.
Okay, if you're afraid of something and you engage in that, I'm gonna give you more of that. Look, your feed becomes an echo chamber. It's easy. Echo chamber means you don't get any opposing views. If you chat with AI and have a conversation with it and start to talk with it on a regular basis, it's going to become your best buddy, your best friend. It's never going to conflict with you. You need to stop and ask it, give me the opposite viewpoint.
Yeah. It becomes your yes man.
It becomes your digital yes man. That's what your AI becomes, right? You got bots creating, triggering content, algorithms amplifying it. Here we go. And humans consuming it, thinking it's all organic, but it's all fake. It's cotton candy, for God's sake. You don't get nutrition out of cotton candy.
So the platform itself is the weapon. How do you fight a system?
How do you fight a system?
Yeah. Talk to us, man. Talk to us.
It's really hard, right?
It's
so hard because, oh my God, you become intentional instead of reactive. Your counter algorithm strategy. One, you have to actively search for diverse perspectives. Look, like I said, big story, look for the little story.
Right.
When you see a big news flash, look for what happened on the other hand. We call it left hand, right hand. Right? Don't let the algorithm choose. Follow your sources that challenge you, not confirm you. Look for opposite opinions. Set time limits. The algorithm wants infinite attention. You give it finite attention. Right? Consume long form content, not short bursts, not ticky-tockies.
Yeah.
Algorithm favors the short triggering content. Why am I seeing this before every scroll? Your consciousness can disrupt the automation. Right? That can all happen. Oh, look at us. Look what time it is.
Oh, we can go. I'm looking to go over.
Ooh, someone wants to get flagged today. Doo-da, doo-da. Someone wants to get sting today. Oh, doo-da day.
Let's go.
Go Hawks.
Man, those are bars. Those are bars, right? Hey, final bosses, you can't beat the system by staying in it unconsciously. You beat it by being intentional, by being disciplined, by being systematic. Your mind is a weapon, but only if you control it. Now, Sensei, let's play a game of offense defense. Ooh. We've been playing defense, detection, awareness, but what about offense? How do you actively resist PSYOPs?
That's called counter PSYOPs strategy. And look, the things we're talking about, these are not just theories that we're throwing out in the world. These are actually documented, look it up, actual proof in the pudding. These are actual methodologies that are used in PSYOPs and counter PSYOPs. Okay? The individual level. What do you do at the individual level? You build information latency and literacy. Okay? Slow it down and learn to see. Okay? Learn logic and critical thinking, media analysis. Do not believe what you see.
Correct.
Right? You got to learn to analyze it. You got to develop emotional regulation. Okay? If something gets you triggered, you need to go, ooh, stop. Wait a minute. Take a break. Breathe. Slow down.
Slow down.
Right? Slow down. Slow your roll.
Yep.
PSYOPs needs emotional reaction. Stoicism is the armor. Okay? Create information rituals. Designated times to consume news, not constant streams. Don't just leave it playing all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to be subject to it. All right?
Yeah. Yep.
Look, practice digital minimalism. Every platform you're not on is one less attack vector.
Right.
And I know that we're saying we're on all the platforms, do all the things. That's fine. But look, watch your consumption. Now, your community level. At the community, share your detection technologies. Teach others what you've been learning tonight. Right. The hard part about that is a lot of people are so in it like this, they can't see this. Right? So that's going to be challenging.
True.
Create accountability groups, people who
Mm-hmm.
check on each other's reasoning, right? If you say something, they're going to check you. All right, military,
Yeah.
we know about that, right? We check each other. If I think you're full of crap, I'm going to tell
Absolutely.
you you're
We
full of
check each
crap.
other. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to.
Absolutely.
You're going
Yep.
to support independent media. The more independent it is, the
Mm-hmm.
better. Decentralized information is hard to manipulate.
Yeah.
There's one that comes on. I see him. It's one of the feeds I watch on Instagram, and Keller, I think his name's whatever, and he has the other news
Oh
that's
yeah, I
not
like Keller.
being pushed,
Yeah,
and he
shout out to
chose
that guy.
the
Yeah,
other
he kills it.
news, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
kills it
yeah,
because what? The news
yeah.
articles and stories that we don't
Mm-hmm.
hear about,
Yeah.
he's going and digging them up and go, hey, did you know that today this is the news? It's really happening in the rest of the world. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. And it's
Yeah.
some interesting stuff that he shows once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So that's decentralized information. Can't
Yeah.
manipulate that one.
I like the Wi-Fi's too. The
I like
Wi-Fi.
the
Those
Wild
are dope.
Files.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he has one on PSYOPS also.
Yeah.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. So shout out to those guys. And if they're watching, big shout out.
Big shout out, guys. Keep doing
A
the
big shout out
good work.
because they're doing
Yeah.
good work and
good
they're
work.
shining a light in the darkness.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Demand transparency. At the systemic level, you demand transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Who funded the study? Who owns this platform? Look, support regulation of psychological manipulation. Regulation. Good luck on that one. I'm gonna tell you that that's
Yeah.
good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that'll be voted on at midnight when no one's in the building.
Yeah.
Right. Vote with attention and dollars. Starve manipulative systems and feed the honest ones. That's hard to do because
It
you don't
is.
know if you're being manipulated or not. And again, I say it again, Bud
Mhm.
Light, perfect example of market manipulation. So who benefited financially when they took that massive hit? Modelo.
Yeah.
But then what happens? If the market drops, the people that are in the know did what? Buy, 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 buy. What's happening
Yeah.
now with Bud Light?
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yep.
So who
Yep.
benefited from that? Just saying.
Right. Yeah.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. We don't have to say it. Follow the money. Listen. That's personal discipline, right? Community resilience and systemic change. This is a complete strategy. Now, since they talked to me about media literacy specifically.
Well, media literacy, which nobody talks about anywhere, anytime, any place, period. No one talks about this. I mean, it should be taught like math. And we don't even teach math anymore, okay? So in schools, we don't even teach math. But it's a fundamental life skill.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a fundamental life skill. Look what's happening right now. Big purchase. Who's getting ready to buy who? Netflix is purchasing what?
Right.
This is big media ownership. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If that doesn't raise red flags, I don't know what does. Okay? Look, six corporations own 90% of American media.
Of the American. Yep.
90% of what you see is controlled by 6 corporations. So in other words, I told you earlier, they all sit on each other's boards. They all party together. They all do things together. They are all in lockstep. When they say move left, they all move left. They say move right, they all move right. All of them. We just happen to get in the way. Right? Yeah. Recognize the format. News versus opinion. Oh my God. Opinion. Oh my God, that's crazy. And it's huge because they sound the same, but they're not. Advertisement versus propaganda. Okay? Again, same thing. Analyze your language. Loaded words, the framing, the euphemisms, the omissions, the dirty words. So you love the dirty words. The isms, right? The isms and the ists. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Anytime you hear the isms or the ists, you know you're being emotionally manipulated. Period. Period. And if somebody calls you that, they're emotionally manipulating you.
Yep.
They're trying to shut you down because, well, they don't want to hear your opinion, so therefore they're going to shut you down by using those words. right?
Mm-hmm.
I identify logical fallacies, ad hominem, straw man, false dichotomies, appeal to emotion. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
anytime you see that, it doesn't make sense. 1 plus 1 is not 11. Just because it's 1 plus 1 is not 11. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not the new math. So if
Mm-hmm.
it's not logical, then hold on, and then you got to be able to trace the narrative.
Yeah.
Where did it originate?
Mm-hmm. That part.
Okay,
Yes,
who
sir.
amplified it?
Mm-hmm.
Why now?
Right.
And you hear about this stuff, but
Yeah.
here's always remember this. Those in power are never, ever, ever going to pay for the bad things they do. They're going to find
Mm.
a patsy, or they're going to find a news story that takes your attention away. But the powerful elites are going to always do what they want to do, and they're going to always get away with it no matter how bad we think it is.
Mm.
And there's many, 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 many stories that you can hear about this that
Right.
none of them get. Do you ever see any of those people go to jail or get in trouble? Nope. But somebody way down in the food chain is a patsy, and they get tossed.
Mm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
every American learns certain skills in high school. Our country
Right.
would be dramatically hard to manipulate if they learn these skills in high school. Okay,
Correct.
that's not
Yep.
it's not standard curriculum.
It's not.
I mean, no, because the standard curriculum is you're a
Mm-hmm.
worker, you stay in
Yeah.
your class, you
Mm-hmm.
shut your mouth, and you do what we tell you to do. When we tell you to do it and how we tell you to do it.
Right. Now, that's facts. Because an educated, critical thinking population, it can't be controlled. Can't be controlled, people. Find the bosses, smarts, motivators, warriors. You guys know that. And you're getting this education right now. You're getting it right now on this episode, right? This is your media literacy masterclass. You need to go out and share this with your family, with everyone, because the Fired Up Train is about empowerment through knowledge. Now, Sensei, let's full lens, right? Full lens, zoom out, right? Let's zoom out. PSYOPs aren't just domestic. We got nation states running operations against each other. We got China, Russia, Iran targeting America. What does international psychological warfare look like?
So it's sophisticated. So this is not as easy to spot. And the reason why these nation states, these other countries, they have unlimited resources and long-term goals. They
Mm-hmm.
have long-term objectives. Like they're not messing around. They're thinking long game. They're not thinking the 5-minute or 10-minute or 24-hour news cycle. They're thinking
Right.
years down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
Russia's approach, chaos and division. That's all they care. They don't care what side
Right.
you're on. They want to amplify both extremes. The goal isn't to win an argument. It's to make Americans distrust each other. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's why you cannot have arguments anymore if you have a differing opinion, because
Yeah.
people that get together now get angry and they want to kill each other. And that's the entire goal, period.
Mm.
Not to discuss our differences of opinion and find out where do you come from and why. No, it's to just hate each other. And we don't trust our neighbors. We don't trust each other. We don't trust anybody. That's all they want. Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
China's approach: shape the global perception of China, suppress criticism. We know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We also have heard many, many times of stealing intellectual property,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
build
Mm-hmm.
economic dependence. If you ever
Right.
notice it across the countries and across the world, China has invested massively in infrastructure in many, many, many countries.
Correct.
So therefore, they build dependence upon them.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to these undeveloped countries and they're building roads and bridges
Yeah.
and all these things, infrastructure.
Yeah.
They're doing infrastructure building. They
Mm-hmm.
run influence operations through TikTok,
Yeah.
Confucius Institutes, and media partnerships,
Oh
and
boy.
hidden media partnerships.
Yeah.
So now let's look at the U.S. approach. Okay, democracy promotion. Democracy is the biggest lie there ever was, and I keep telling you that. If you believe in democracy, you're stupid. But that's a promotion of it. It's the idea of this is what we have. We are a democracy. We promote democracy. Democracy, democracy, democracy. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then every time you hear of a regime change, that person's bad. We need to get them out of power. Oh, well,
Yeah.
watch that one. Okay, careful of that one because that's a huge red flag if you've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Look, cultural exports. Okay, Hollywood, music, right there. That's
Yeah.
technological dominance. Okay, we pretend we don't do it, but we wrote the playbook, and now we do it on our own people. This is the thing. It's not the international ones outside in. It's also outside in, inside in.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are never supposed to operate on U.S. soil, what are they doing? Operating on U.S. soil.
It's all over the news as we speak. And look, every major power is running psychological operations against every other power. How do you tell if a narrative you're consuming is actually foreign psyop?
Well, there's red flags for that.
Okay.
First, amplifies division. Make
Mm-hmm.
Americans hate Americans. Done. Number one red flag. Are you called to hate your neighbor?
Mm.
Period. That's a
Right.
biggie. It's
Mm-hmm.
huge. Consider it's foreign, okay? All right,
Yeah.
promotes extreme positions on both sides, pushing the
Mm-hmm.
far left and the far right. That's called cross sowing. Look, when you're a piece of grass, all right, and you're growing up, the lawnmower is going to come by and cut the grass. So when the wind blows and the lawnmower comes by, but the wind's going to change and the lawnmower comes by,
Mm-hmm.
you follow what happens, right?
Right.
That's what's happening. It's called cross sowing. The timing coordination, multiple accounts pushing the same narrative, same language,
Mm-hmm.
same time. Did you ever see that one which is a little short that showed one news station?
Yeah.
The one news station that's all of the news people were saying the same things, and they played them all. It's
Yeah.
crazy. All right, so you
Yep.
direct your
Yeah.
attention away from your foreign adversary, anti-American, but never criticizes Russia or China. Question the source. But here's the catch: the
Mm.
American domestic actors amplify foreign psyops unknowingly. You don't need to be a foreign agent to spread foreign propaganda. You just need to push the narrative. Share something that confirms your bias without checking the source, and you just made it viral.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we're all potentially assets in someone else's information warfare campaign. Just by sharing, retweeting, reposting final bosses, you might think you're spreading truth, but you could be spreading a Chinese or Russian psyop. That's why source verification is critical, right? And Sensei, we got to address this. We got to address the term, which is one of our favorite. We love this term, conspiracy theory.
If you look at the
It's
history of the conspiracy theory,
yeah.
all right, the history is that back in the day, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even a term. People just had different opinions of things. They had different perspectives. They thought they saw something happen and they had different opinions. And
Right.
everybody talked about their different opinions. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what occurred was that when JFK got assassinated, there was a big shift, and the shift was we can't have differing opinions. We got to shut them down. So the way
Mm.
you shut down differing opinions is you do this. It's a communist tactic the communists use, which is called labeling. You
Okay.
label somebody something that's distasteful, or give it the connotation of being distasteful, and whatever they say has no meaning. So
Mm.
if I have an opinion that there was more than one person involved in JFK getting killed, or it was an inside job, or it was the feds, or it was the CIA, or you can't talk about that because now you're considered a conspiracy nut. And
Right.
once you're labeled that, nobody listens to you because now it's all conspiracy. Now
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing: a true conspiracy, no one knows it's a conspiracy. That's a true conspiracy.
Right.
If any conspiracy theories are out there, that means
Yeah.
they probably have some grain of truth and they're not
Mm.
truly a conspiracy. So
Mm.
the term conspiracy is a lie anyway. It's a lie on a lie, right?
Right.
It's just ridiculous. It's just funny as
Mm-hmm.
hell. People fall for it all the time.
Right.
Label me a conspiracy theorist. Like I identify as conspiracy theorist. My pronouns are I told you so. Look at all the conspiracies we had, and then they all are coming to be known as being true.
True. True. True. True. Oh boy. Mm.
Something else.
Yeah.
Something else.
So It's not everything that's everything's a conspiracy, or nothing is a conspiracy. It's
Yes.
some conspiracies are real, some are false, and some are designed to make you look stupid. How do you tell the difference?
Ha! How do you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Well, look, the first thing you do is you have an immediate action checklist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to audit your information diet. Write down where you get your news and information.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns those sources? What biases do they have? Diversify immediately,
Right.
right? Diversify. Look, install immediate mental checkpoints before sharing anything on social media. Pause, stop, wait, run it through the 5-step detection protocol we talked about. Who benefits? What's the source? What context am I missing? Before you repost anything, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, set digital boundaries. Delete one social media app from your phone or set 30-minute daily limits. Break the hold on your attention. Look, the next one, have one real conversation. Talk to someone who disagrees with you politically. Don't debate.
Right.
Actively, genuinely try to understand the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Practice breaking tribal thinking.
Got it.
Then teach someone. Share this episode with one person. Teach them the one concept you learned.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge compounds when it's shared.
Correct. Correct. Man, that's wisdom. We've been dropping a lot of gems tonight. And listen, fighter bosses, motivators, warriors, smarts. Truth requires work. It requires discipline. It requires being willing to say, I don't know, when you don't have enough evidence. Like, shut the fuck up, right? The fired up train, the fired up train isn't about being certain. It's about being rigorous in your thinking. Now, good people, as we get ready to close out very soon, we've given you the knowledge. Now, let's give you an action plan, because that's what we do here. We present problems and then we present an action plan, right? Sensei, what are the top 5 things someone should do tomorrow to start implementing what they learned tonight?
So we've talked about these things. We've covered it in different layers, and we've gone through the things are, look, I'll make it real simple.
Okay.
It's an easy thing you can do if you don't want to do anything else. It's simple. Take one phrase that I give you, and that's enough for everything.
Okay.
Question everything, believe nothing.
Mm.
That's it. That's all you have to do. That's all
Boom.
you have to do. Question
Boom.
everything, believe nothing. If you do that, you're on the way.
Well, good people, that's your answer. And boom, that's actionable intelligence right there. Final bosses, don't just consume this information that we're presenting to you. You need to implement it, act on it. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. And here's my addition, right? Join a real world community. Go to church, join a gym, join a veterans group, a big club, a book club, volunteer, right? Somewhere where you interact face to face with people on a regular basis. That's your PSYOP insurance policy. Real relationships aren't manipulation resistant. You're now graduates of what? The Final Boss School of Mental Warfare. Use it wisely. Teach it freely. Protect your mind like you protect your home, because your mind is your home. And Final Boss Nation, we've covered some heavy material tonight, but I want you to leave this broadcast empowered, not paranoid, equipped, not anxious. Yes, there are people trying to manipulate you. Yes, the systems are designed to exploit your psychology. Yes, the battlefield is real, but you now have the weapons. You now see the invisible. You are no longer an easy target. You've been told, so act like it, right? Remember the 6 pillars of success, right? Sacrifice, motivation, consistency, perseverance, persistence, and resilience. These aren't just motivational words. They're a defense system against psychological manipulation. When you have disciplined algorithms, you can control, that cannot control you. When you have commitment to truth, narratives can't sway you. When you have integrity, tribal pressure can't break you. This is go time, people. It's go time. Go time, final bosses. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. The fired up train is leaving the station, and you're either on it or you're not. You're either intentional with your mind or you're letting someone else drive, and then you're the passenger. You're either a final boss or you're an NPC in someone else's game. Sensei, any final words before we close out to the Final Boss Nation?
Just this. Every major shift in human history started with individuals who chose to think differently. Look, the printing press didn't change the world. That didn't. People who learned to read and think critically did.
Correct.
The internet didn't change the world. People who learned to verify information and connect across boundaries did. The moment you watching this right now, this is your choice point. You can go back to unconscious consumption, or you can become a conscious warrior for truth. The controllers are counting on you choosing comfort, ease, no discomfort at all. They don't want you to have any kind of fight in you. They want you to be calm, cool, and collected. Prove them wrong. Be the person in your family who sees clearly. Be the friend who asks the hard questions. Be the citizen who refuses to be divided. Of course, be the final boss.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the sensei. That's it right there, Final Boss Nation. Thank you for riding with us tonight. I know we went a little bit over, but it was necessary. This was Tech Tuesday, episode number 153. On our way to episode number 200, people. We just gave you guys a masterclass in identifying and defending against psychological operations. Now, I need you guys to do me a favor, right? I need you to hit the share button. I need you to like and subscribe, right? I need you to tag 3 people who needs to hear this. I need you to drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. Let us know where you, what city you're repping. And remember this: smarts build knowledge, motivators inspire action, warriors execute the discipline. I am the final boss. I'm also the conductor, reminding you that systematic excellence is the only way to live. Get on the fired up train or get left at the station. Until next time, final bosses, stay sharp, stay skeptical, stay systematic, and let all of this marinate in your spine. And remember, there's a heavy pain that comes with discipline, but the pain of regret is even heavier. And to each and every last single one of you, go grab the Go Time book, people. Look at that right there. Go grab the Go Time book. Hashtag Go Time. All aboard the fired up train. Harmless plug. But go grab that, man. Go grab it now. It's going to be a #1 bestseller. I'm trying to tell you. To all of you, thank you for joining us. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Be balanced, be equal, and be smart. And that's our show for tonight. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for our special guest. Got a really wonderful special guest that's going to be on the show this Thursday at 9 p.m. See you then. Y'all have a great evening.
Welcome to the Final Boss Podcast, where microphones and mushroom clouds collide in the most mind-blowing chats. We're talking explosive topics, fiery debates, and the hottest guests. Imagine a creative space background, spacey vibes, and out-of-this-world conversations. It's like chilling with your best buddies, but with way cooler sound effects. Every episode, we take on the universe's biggest questions. You know, the stuff that keeps you up at night. And we do it with a bang. Want to know what happens when you mix gaming, movies, and pop culture? Boom! You get the Final Boss Podcast. So plug in those earbuds and get ready for a wild ride. Whether you're commuting, chilling, or just need a break, we've got your back. Hit that follow button and join us on this cosmic journey. Trust me, you don't want to miss these explosive chats. Catch the Final Boss Podcast now, where every episode is a blast. Stay tuned and stay awesome. Final Boss Podcast, bringing the boom to you.